Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us this evening for Vancouver Public Schools K-12 Comprehensive Sexual Health Curriculum Family Information Evening. We're going to go ahead and get started here in just a moment. I see that there are a lot of families that are still joining. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Again, thank you for joining us this evening. My name is Gil Luna, and I get to support health instruction K-12 in Vancouver Public Schools. Tonight, I get the opportunity to share with you some information specifically regarding the K-12 Comprehensive Sexual Health Curriculum in Vancouver Public Schools. And we're going to go ahead and get started. I see that there's still some families coming in. So health in Vancouver Public Schools is really based on Washington's 6 core ideas for health instruction. And those include wellness, safety, nutrition, sexual health, social emotional health, and substance use and abuse. Our goal for health education and physical education in Vancouver Public Schools is to prepare our students to be healthy for life. Health education and physical education in Vancouver Public Schools develops a student's knowledge and skills to be physically active, eat nutritiously, access reliable health information and services, communicate effectively, and set health enhancing goals. Last year, in December, Washington State passed Senate Bill 5395. Senate Bill 5395 was passed by the legislature and Washington voters in 2020 and went into effect on December 3rd, 2020. It requires all public schools to provide comprehensive sexual health education by the year 2022-2023 school year, with some requirements beginning in the 2020-2021 school year, which of course was last year. Instruction must be consistent with health education K-12 learning standards, which provide a framework for comprehensive instruction and the provisions of the law. Instruction must also be age appropriate, medically and scientifically accurate, and inclusive of all students, using language and strategies that recognize all members of protected classes. VPS, the Comprehensive Sexual Health Overview, includes these 4 parts. In grades K through 3, no sexual health content is required. Social emotional learning, or SEL, is the focus of instruction in grades K through 3. In grade 4, age-appropriate sexual health begins. In grades 5 through 8, age-appropriate sexual health continues, and it also includes HIV prevention instruction. In high school, age-appropriate sexual health is also included, and including HIV prevention, as well as social emotional learning. Specifically, in kindergarten through 3rd grade, no sexual health content is required in grades K through 3. And as I mentioned, social emotional learning is the focus of K3 instruction. All learning outcomes are aligned to Washington State Cell Learning Standards. You can see the photo on the right outlines the specific benchmarks. And our year-long cell units include growth mindset and goal setting, emotion management, empathy and kindness, and problem solving. Sexual health in 4th grade and beyond is provided by 2 curriculum. In grades 5 and 6 and 7, 8, we use also the No HIV Prevention curriculum. Both of these curriculum, developed specifically to meet Washington State health standards, are medically and scientifically accurate, state approved for use in Washington. These curriculum are used by a number of local districts and adopted by VPS between the years 2015 and 2016. The curriculum consists of a series of lessons and utilizes traditional teaching methods such as worksheets and classroom discussions. And additional content in curriculum is not approved and cannot be added. Parent previews and notification. State law in Washington requires that parents must be notified of planned sexual health instruction and have the opportunity to preview materials at least before instruction occurs on that topic. Teachers will send home a letter to let families know when instruction will occur. Families can contact students' teachers for more information or to opt out of one or more lessons. The terminology that we use during sexual health education curriculum must be accurate and detailed, or accurate and detailed medical vocabulary is used in discussions and activities for parts of the body and for concepts related to learning. Students will view accurate diagrams of internal and external body parts and will label them with medically accurate terms. The focus for curriculum and the language is factual, medical, and scientific. Values questions protocols. The curriculum includes a protocol for responding to student questions that are personal in nature, inappropriate for school discussion, or potentially hurtful. The protocol supports teachers in answering the fact-based elements of questions, if any, while separating it from beliefs or opinions that may differ. Separating by gender. It's the current district practice in grades 4 and 5 to separate by gender for gender-specific lessons. In these lessons, instruction is likely provided by the child's teacher. The goal is for an adult with strong relationship with the student to provide the learning. Parents should consult with the teachers, should consult with teachers in situations where this separation may cause harm for students. Fourth and fifth grade sexual health topics. In 4th grade and in 5th grade, as I mentioned, Vancouver Public Schools uses the family life and sexual health curriculum, and the no curriculum for HIV prevention in grades 5, beginning in grades 5. In fourth grade, we have the curriculum split into 2 units of instruction, and the lessons are between 25 and 40 minutes long. Unit 1 includes an introduction to the curriculum, a lesson on family, self-esteem, gender roles, friendship, and decision making. In Unit 2, the lessons cover sexual exploitation, puberty, and the reproductive system. Fifth grade topics include also an introduction to the curriculum, lessons on family, self-esteem, gender roles, friendship, decision-making, sexual exploitation, puberty, and the reproductive system. The HIV prevention curriculum No is also used in fifth grade to help students understand how to avoid behaviors that may put them at risk of contracting the deadly disease HIV. Middle school sexual health topics are split between sixth grade lessons and seventh and eighth grade year 1 and year 2 lessons. Oftentimes, our middle school students attend their health classes as a seventh and eighth cohort. In sixth grade, you can see that the sexual health topics are broken up into 3 units, similar to the fourth and fifth grade lessons. Unit 1 begins with an introduction, and then lessons on family, self-esteem, gender roles, friendship, and decision-making. In Unit 2, there are lessons on sexual exploitation, puberty, and the reproductive system, as well as a lesson on pregnancy, which is new to the instruction in sixth grade. The third unit also is the HIV prevention curriculum, No, where the students will again learn how to avoid any type of risky situation that might put them at risk of contracting the deadly disease HIV. In year 1 of 7th and 8th grade, the units, there's 2 units. In the first unit, there's an introduction to the curriculum, and then the students will learn about lessons that include puberty, sexual health and hygiene, STDs or sexually transmitted diseases, the reproductive system, touch and abstinence, birth control basics, and communication. In Unit 2, students will also use the HIV prevention curriculum No to learn again about avoiding contracting the deadly disease HIV. In the second year in middle school for 7th and 8th grade, similar to the first year, there's an introduction and then lessons on puberty, the reproductive system, pregnancy, decision-making, birth control basics, resource people, communication, and then last, in the second unit, students will engage in lessons using the No curriculum, specifically with lessons about HIV prevention. High school sexual health lessons are embedded within a semester-long course in high school, and instruction can begin anytime between grades 9 and 12, but is dependent on when a student takes health. There are several lessons that are provided throughout the unit, and they include climate setting, which is similar to the introduction in earlier grades, reproductive system and pregnancy specifically, sexual orientation and gender identity, undoing gender stereotypes, healthy relationships, coercion and consent, online safety, abstinence, birth control methods, preventing HIV and other STDs, condoms to prevent pregnancy, HIV, and STDs, testing for HIV and other STDs, communication and decision making, and improving school health. Optional short video supplements. To support lessons in grades 4 and 5, short videos are an optional resource for classroom instruction. Some videos include labeled diagrams of internal and external body parts. And you can get the list and directions to preview our supplemental videos in our family resource folder that I'll share with you in just a moment. Instructional supports. Some buildings may enlist the aid of school staff to support instruction. Teachers might team in the elementary grades where genders are separated for instruction. School nurses might support lessons that address medical knowledge, such as puberty or the reproductive system. There are optional family homework assignments embedded throughout the curriculum at all grade levels, 4 through high school. And these lessons provide optional family homework activities to do with your child. These are entirely optional and students are not required to participate. Any discussions around the homework held at home will not be discussed at school. Reviewing the curriculum. You can access all of the sexual health curriculum by contacting the VPS Curriculum and Instruction Department at 360-313-1020. The 4th through 8th grade curriculum can be reviewed online at the following web address or by scanning the QR code embedded on the slide. I'll give you a moment to write down the web address and or scan the QR code to the family resource folder. For those of you who may need help with scribing the web address to view the 4th through 8th grade curriculum, the web address is https://qrgo.page.link /uppercase E PGY. Opting out. Parents may opt their child out of part or all of the lessons using the sexual health opt-out form. Contact your child's teacher or school for a copy. The form should be returned to the teacher or building. Forms may also be emailed to your child's teacher. Alternative educational opportunities shall be provided for those excused. If you have questions, please feel free to contact us. Again, my name is Gil Luna. I'm in the Curriculum and Instruction Department. I can be reached at 360-313-1020, and my email address is gilbert.luna@vansd.org. I noticed that some of families have written some questions in the chat as I went through this brief introduction to the curriculum, which is meant to help support your understanding of what is covered in Vancouver Public Schools in grades 4 through high school with sexual health specifically. And so I'm going to address some of those questions now. One of the questions is, how can parents check out the curriculum to see what we're teaching the students? You will have noticed that on the slide before this one, we do have the 4th through 8th grade lessons embedded within a resource folder for families to access. You'll also notice in that folder that each of the lessons that we identified in the grade level outlines is described in that resource folder. And so if you'd like, please use that to look at the resources. If you have questions, please feel free to reach me at the information located on the slide now. I see that there is also a question about being able to access the recording or the slides in the future. Yes, this presentation will be posted on our webpage. Information was sent out on school calendars as well as our district calendar. There's a link there for more information, and this information will be posted by the end of next week after all of the presentations conclude. There's a question about the high school curriculum specifically. The resource folder does have some information about the high school curriculum, including the outline that we looked at, as well as additional more detailed information. If you'd like to view the lessons in full, please contact us at the Curriculum and Instruction Department using the information here on this screen. We do have printed binders that can be checked out at the district office. So please contact us if you'd like to check out the high school curriculum specifically, as we have it in printed form. There's a question about how the curriculum is addressed in special needs classrooms. We do have a variety of special ed classrooms. The family life and sexual health curriculum is adopted for all classrooms for students in grades 4 through high school. These lessons are sometimes modified or adapted to meet the needs of our special education students. And I would encourage you to contact your student's teacher for more information specifically on how they plan to approach that. I see that there is also a question about whether or not that transgender is discussed or taught in classrooms. Uh, you will may have noticed that in the high school curriculum, there are specific lessons about gender identity. That is covered in our high school curriculum specifically, um, and not in grade 7, 8, 6, 5, or 4. I see that there's another question specifically about touch and abstinence, and you would like an explanation. Specifically, the touch and abstinence lessons that are embedded within our middle school curriculum in 7th and 8th grade specifically refer to wanted and unwanted touch and how to avoid and report unwanted touch. I see that there's another question about parents who aren't attending the Zoom. The information that our teachers send home before instruction begins does include information about opting out. And so before instruction begins, you will be notified by your child's teacher, and that information about opt-out is provided to families then. So I see that there's also a question about what the process for how teachers will handle questions from students. Our teachers are expert at student questions. They get hundreds of them each day. We do have a process specifically for values-based questions that is outlined in the curriculum. Our teachers also, each one of them attends training when they are new to health education to help provide them ways to go about answering student questions. Any type of values-based question or beliefs-based question, we ask that the teachers, of course, answer the fact involved in the question. If there's any type of factual information that needs to be provided to kids, we do ask them to provide that. We ask for them to leave their own values and beliefs behind and have them speak with their family members about that. I see that there's interest in knowing more specifically about what's included in the 4th and 5th grade sexual health curriculum. I would point you to the resources in the resource folder for more information. You can look at the lessons specifically to see the lesson outcomes and what will be specifically covered in the 4th and 5th grade lessons. I see there's also another question about whether or not the elementary curriculum is available in print form. Yes, it is. Please contact us at the Curriculum and Instruction Department by calling the phone number you see on the screen now. We do have printed binders available for checkout also. There's a question about whether or not teachers are allowed to supplement the curriculum with their own materials and opinions. know that that is not allowed. The curriculum that we have, the Family Life and Sexual Health curriculum, as well as the No HIV curriculum, is our approved curriculum, and supplementing the curriculum is not allowed. You'll see in the resource folder uh, the specific lessons that we use, as well as instructions on how to review and view the optional videos. I see there's a question specifically about opting out. How is that information sent to parents? The information will be provided by teachers before instruction begins. And so when you are informed that instruction is going to begin, please reach out to your child's teacher for an opt-out form if that's what, if you would like to opt your student out of one or more lessons. There's a question about the estimated timing of curriculum. Oftentimes, the curriculum would not begin until winter. However, depending on the grade level, it's very dependent on the grade level. Our high school students attend a semester-long class, and therefore instruction may begin as soon as potentially November or December for the first semester students. Many of our elementary schools begin sexual health curriculum instruction after they've developed a good relationship with the students where they can have safe conversations. And you will want to check with your child's teacher specifically to learn more about when they plan to have that instruction. There's a question about if there are two adults present while instruction is given to the class or just one. Oftentimes, instruction is provided by just one teacher. Because in fourth and fifth grade, we do separate genders. Sometimes your child may be with a co-teacher or teaching partner, grade level teaching neighbor, who will take one of the two genders, while the other teacher may take the other group of kids. Again, if you're interested in wondering, if you're wondering about what instruction is going to specifically look like for your child, I encourage you to reach out to your child's teacher to find out more about how they intend to coordinate that. I see that there is also a question, if students become uncomfortable during a lesson, can they be excused? Absolutely. We know that we have a variety of needs from our students in terms of their readiness for information. And if you believe that your child might be uncomfortable with this information, I highly suggest reaching out to your child's teacher to talk about that with them so that they're ready for that. We'll want to have a safe place for your child to be in case that happens. Otherwise, it's likely that there are places in our schools where we can send the child where they'll be safe. However, if you believe there might be a student who becomes uncomfortable, please let us know in advance. I see a question about how often lessons are going to occur. Lessons may be taught in a sequence, one after another, while other teachers may plan to provide some instruction over time. Again, please reach out to your child's teacher about specifically how they plan to cover the curriculum this year. I see that there is also a question about addressing sexual abuse. One of our goals for sexual health instruction is to maintain our students' health into adulthood. As such, there are lessons embedded throughout the curriculum, whether it be the fourth and fifth grade curriculum, the sixth grade curriculum, the seventh and eighth or high school curriculum, that include information about how to recognize unsafe or unwanted touch, and how to contact an adult that they feel safe with to report that. So yes, information about sexual abuse is covered throughout the curriculum. So it looks like I'm not getting um, any new questions into the chat. And if there was a chance that I missed your question scrolling through, I would like for you to please reach out to me at the information provided here on this page. I can be contacted at 360-313-1020 or my email address, gilbert.luna@vansd.org. I'll be happy to communicate with you and address your questions. Again, some of the best resources we have for more information are your child's teacher. They'll have specific information about when the curriculum is intended to begin, and what the logistics of that will look like, whether or not they have to plan and with another teacher, or if they will be taking a different approach. So please reach out to your child's teacher for more specific information. And thank you very much for joining us this evening for this introduction. Again, my name is Gil Luna. I can be reached at the Curriculum and Instruction Department. And I appreciate you all being here tonight to learn more about the health curriculum in Vancouver Public Schools.